Hello everyone, this is Black Marvin, and today we're going to take a look at the Psytrance Awakening 3 Serum pack from Ghost Hack. Let's do this. Alright, we're going to go through the pack, not preset by preset because that would make a long video, but if you're more into that kind of rhythm, the video, longer videos a bit, you can check out the stream we did while creating a track, actually creating the demo track for the pack. That way you get more of a behind the scene vibe into the video and you really see like the progress of the track and the preset used. But today it's an overview of the pack, and let's start with the acid. That's the way the pack is built. You have the acid base. You have some nice effects. You have the grid. There's gonna be a video into the grid because there's a certain way you use the grid. Well, you use it however you like, but there's a way you're gonna get better result. You have some leads. Obviously, lead are the core of the pack. You have some nice pads, some plugs, bit of plugs. You have some synths, some vocal. Really nice vocal, and what that's new in that edition, that volume of Psytrance Awakening, you have the Vox synth that are really cool too. We're gonna take a look at these. And now the acid, you have this one that is called Buddha, and I like how it sounds. So you can see, you can play with the cutoff, which is kind of an essential thing. What I really like to do with the color knobs is just to give an alternate tone for that patch. So when you open up a preset in Psytrance Awakening and you already like a bit the sound how it is, you gotta try the color knob because it gives an alternate tone. I gotta say, I like both tone. They could be used for different purposes, but also what you can do is just use the color knob like you would use, let's say, the cutoff knob or the resonance knob, just to give movement in the sound and just change the energy. But you know, that is up to you. That's your part. And finally, for that preset, it's called the fill knob. There's also a couple of presets in the pack that have a similar knob. The purpose of this knob is to, again, manage the energy, but specifically at the end of a section, you want to ease a transition or just, you know, manage the energy in a creative way. You can use the fill knob. All right, so we'll just at the end here, we're gonna manage just a nice fill, like raise the energy, and then you can bounce into a new section of your track or just come back with the same thing and start layering. Again, it's up to you. So this is how it sounds. Now let's take a look at the basses, but keep in mind that in order to get like the typical professional Psytrance bass sound, there's some key processing you need to do on the bass. You're never gonna get like the perfect sound out of Serum and that you have nothing to do and nothing to process. Okay, there's some key processing you need to do here, but the idea is to get the best building blocks to start with. All right, and there's definitely that in Psytrance Awakening, some really, really cool basses, and there's many ways to tweak them. So what I did here is just a small bass pattern so we can preview them in a more realistic way. So this is Iboga. Now this is Iono. This one is different tone, more presence in the mid-high frequencies, different click too. You have the fat knob, which is obviously going to make it fatter, perceived also as fatter. It's gonna change the sound a bit. Here you have a color knob too. So in the end, with one bass, you have many possibilities. E Boga and E Yono were the more standard basses, but we have different ones, different bass tone if you want to explore just, you know, other soundscape, other possibilities. This is factor bass. So I would almost hear that you can use that in a Psytrance track, but you could also, with just a bit of tweaking, use that in a more, like, I would say, tech trance track or techno track. Really, again, it's up to you, but different tones. This is Metabolism. I'm gonna stop here for the basses because I want to keep that video as short as possible, but there's some other basses like Progress 202, Sapphire, Sector 7, Slam, and Twist Spin. They are yours to discover again. Now let's go to the effects. Let's go check out Scan Complete. So nice effects. Don't forget to maybe try to play it low or try to play it higher on the keyboard. This is another effect. This is the Slug Monster. Really cool stuff you can do with this one. Again, play it low, play it high, but play it. Coming up next, we are not gonna check out the grid because I'm gonna make a video specifically for the grid. So let's go right away to the leads. For the leads, I really like this one. It's called Electric Field and it sounds really good when it is arpeggiated. What I did here is a really simple pattern, just couple of bumps here, and then it's the same pattern that I just copied. In fact, I just can recreate it for you. I just add these bumps here. And then I just did Shift and click, and I brought it up, and I just added that note here. You can arpeggiate it yourself like I did, or you can just hold the note. There's a little sequence in the patch, but I'm gonna use it with my own arpeggiator like this, and I'm gonna play with the macros for you. So in this patch, different color, different movement, you can play with the cutoff, and there's also a second filter. Really quickly, this is saturated. I'm gonna run it through the same arpeggiator I have. So this one is heavier and grittier. Hybridized acid, this one is one of my favorite from the whole pack. This one is really cool. It's like a lead, but really acidish sounding. Gonna show you a final lead, but it's honestly it's hard to choose because there's so many leads. Like I said, it's the core of the pack. It's really the leads, but there's some nice stuff around it. So this is the Smasher, and when you open the patch, it's already smashed. I'm gonna unsmash it for you and smash it for you after, so you can see. You have in the macros, you have the ghost, so it really adds some kind of action, ghostly action. There's crunch, you can add some movement there too, and you can smash it if you want. And I really recommend you smash it. Let's hear how it sounds. You could really use it in any subgenre of Psytrance, but I would say it definitely sounds like if you do some full-on Psytrance and you need a good energy blast, I'd say the Smasher is a patch for you. This one is a pad and it's called Hyperlife. This one is a synth and it's called Psychedelic Ground. And if you need something a bit more metallic from this patch, you can go with the FM. This vocal is called Consciousness. And if you want, you can go free. So here it is, la pièce de résistance. It's the Vox synth from the pack. Here it is DMT. You can send it to the void. If you want something more sci-fi, you can go with the sample and hold. There's a gate if you want. And there's already a bit of flange when you open the preset. You can have it less or you can have more. It's up to you. And the last section, but not the least, is the Zap section. And I chose to show you Mental, which is one of my favorite again. There's some really freaky stuff in there if you want to be creative, and there's also some more standard stuff if you want to sound like the same template that everybody is using. So that's it. That was a couple of presets from the pack. Don't miss the opportunity to add these sounds to your Psytrance arsenal, and I wish you happy producing, and I will see you in another video. Cheers.